Yabota, g'day, how you doing? Stop the music. Where are we? Mark, we're doing, good morning. Right, let's just minimise that. Okay, here we are. Another Saturday morning. Supposedly the last live stream from this studio. Next week, if all goes to plan, we'll be broadcasting from the man cave. But anyway, g'day Andy, how you doing? Happy was it 20 or 26? Yeah, 24th, 25th. Yeah, we actually start the move tomorrow on the 25th, so there you go. Chuck Beatty, yeah, good morning, have a wonderful day. Yes, you too, Jacques. Carl Moore, Mrog, yeah, g'day, good morning. And I said, Mark, we're doing, g'day, how you doing? So here we are, Saturday morning, the last stream from this house, if all goes to plan. We got the, well, I suppose let's move straight on to the photos. How many people have got here? 15 people? Okay, they can always scroll back, can't they? Photos. There we go. So I was out there, I've got the videos in the can, but I was out there, was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So we had the window tinters come round. I've got a feeling it was Friday now. No, it wasn't yesterday because I was playing games yesterday. Yeah, so Thursday they came around. This is again some of the things that really surprised me about the way things happen here in Thailand. I said we had previously discussed putting the window tint on the windows. G'day Patrick. We discussed putting the window tint. So it's been a very sort of loose discussion. Probably mentioned once or twice over the period of maybe sort of 3 or 4 weeks, and it really just it's never been a high priority. So when I was in the house, we were over there on the Wednesday doing a couple of things. I think that was bringing the lights around. I just said we need to put the window tinting on because the curtains are coming in next Monday. So she was Wednesday night. She was on her Facebook. Started a conversation with somebody on the Facebook, and she said, well, what colour do you want? What level tint do you want? Do you want 60%, which is the one on the right there, or do you want the 80%, which is the one on the left? And I'm going, I think the 80% is probably the one we really want to go for. Keep the don't mention the war. Yeah, so try to keep the house cooler than the average outside temperature. Anyhow, that was Wednesday night, and she says, "Oh, these guys here, they can do it tomorrow, or you'll have to wait a month." So I said, "Well, let's get it done tomorrow." So they were around there the next morning, so like this, probably 12 hours notice or 18 hours notice, and they were up there Thursday afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now putting the tint on. So how's that for expediency? How's the lockdown? A1 Melissa. Hello Warren for England, saying hello. Sorry about the English time zone, but hopefully we've able to sort a few things out from next week. We may do a English time zone stream once every couple of weeks, in the evening or something like that. Just so that I can, unfortunately I've got to do it at sort of like, I think Kev used to do his at 1 o'clock in the morning here in Thailand to catch his English audience. So, which means we cut out the Aussies, but we get the Americans and we get the Americans, although I don't know, I have to get my, scares me trying to think about that stuff. But yeah, so we're going to give it a try, so see if we can get a bit of an audience going on the English front. Stephen Monash, good morning, how you doing? How's the lockdown going? The lockdown is going weird. I got some articles here. I think the most scary one was, where is it? Where are we? Here, that's right. This tweet from the Thai News Reports. Since it started, we've had 53,000 cases and 129 deaths. Out of that, 3,266 came from other countries, and now we're caught during inspection. The male-female ratio is 1 to 1.08. Total cases 64% ties to the Burmese. This is a scary one. This was posted 31 minutes ago. Thai health officials reporting a new record of 2,839 cases from yesterday. 8 more deaths. They say it's on Saturday, but that's obviously the Friday numbers. There's 22,000 people in care, 17,000 in hospitals, 4,000 in field hospitals, and there are now 418 people in a serious condition and 113 on ventilators. So it's starting to ramp up, and we've got our illustrious Prime Minister sort of trying to guarantee the fact that everything is according to plan. Anyway, I'd rather look at photos of the new house. Steve, yeah, so where we go to, yeah, pain in the bum, another 3 days. The Grinch, hello from Florida, good luck to you both. Yes, thank you, the Grinch. House is coming along well, so morning, crap, good morning, crap. Good morning, yes, there's nowhere near as bad as here in Perth. I don't know, I haven't even looked at the numbers in Australia. How's the numbers in Australia going? The only thing I've got to go off is my little chart here, but they only give Australian numbers, so Australia's not worth breaking those numbers down, is it? Into the different states. Thailand's getting up in the rankings now. I think, where are we in Australia? Come on, this thing here doesn't like, there we go, Thailand. I have no idea why my scroll will not work. I've got too many tabs open. 50,000 cases in Thailand. Yeah, so that spike is high. Hasn't got the 2,300 numbers in there. Where is Australia? Australia must be below Thailand now, is it? There it is, 29,000. So Australia's looking alright. So there you go, Australia's looking alright compared to Thailand right now. Australia NZ bubble has started. Yes, I was reading about that one there, yeah. And I believe I was also reading the fact that the illustrious Prime Minister in Thailand is trying to get a law passed that anybody born after 2000 and something, 5 or something, is going to be illegal to smoke in New Zealand. I don't know if that one will fly, but she's pushing it. Not that it worries me, but it does worry a lot of people, smokers. No worries, just get into it and settle in. No worries, mate. I have lived in Oz for 2 years. For 2 years, time ago. Okay. G'day, Ralph Lewis. G'day, how you doing? Malcolm K. God, the lockdown in Australia, only 1 case. And Sean, how you doing, Sean? A wise move would have been to lock down before Songkran. I totally agree, Malcolm. There, but again, so they canned Songkran last year, and the military government that we have here, democratic military government here. I think they really, I think that a second push on Songkran would have been the tipping point for civil war. That's sort of basically the feeling that I feel, underlying the overall, outward face of Thailand, which they still try to keep their smiles, but people are really hurting now, and any sort of lockdown would have been they would have had civil war on their hands, because it's it's gone ballistic. And of course, what can we say? It's the high soul community this time around that's been the major cause of it. Partying when they shouldn't have been partying. I did read an article that they were going to be looking at at finding these people and fining them for breaking the rules. I don't know if that's going to fly either, but you know how it is. Mike Gordeau, g'day from Canada. How you doing, Mike? I would trust both. Yeah, I would trust both governments of Australia from shutting down both borders. So NZ for me. Yeah. So what? Wouldn't. I wouldn't trust. Yeah. Okay. You both are. Wow. NZPM needs to go as soon as possible. Yeah. Just don't get me still up. I did. I think the last video I had a bit of a rant on politics. The one thing I do try to keep clear of is religion and politics, and I know it slips out every so often. There are two things you can't do YouTube on, two things you can't talk about openly. We can talk about politics all we want when we're off air. then you'll get my full arsenal of disdain for the political arena.
Religion and politics, the two things you can't change anybody's mind about.
That's right. And here's me. I look sort of, I was like my father, a staunch Liberal supporter in Australia, which would have been, I think, your Biden party. I've been a staunch Liberal for nearly all my life. Maybe for the last 15 years, I started voting independent on our seat because I'd just given up with the whole Liberal agenda, and all the bullshit that's been going on over there. But again, voting for an independent in what they call a blue ribbon Liberal seat made diddly squat difference to the vote, did it? You'd have to, they needed a swing of something like 25%, to get the Liberal out of seat in the Hornsby Shire. So, it was a bit of one of those sort of things. I put 4 Liberals because we have that what they call the preferential voting system in Australia. So it'll be independent. I think then I'd go Liberal, Labor, and then Christian Party. Liberal, Labor, and Christian. Yeah, Christian. Religion in politics is just a no-win. So they always went last. But yeah, that was just the way I voted. But couldn't do much about the overall sort of outcome of the whole thing. I like the idea, the fact that you should be allowed to work and do better than the next guy and get paid better. If you're better than the guy beside you, if you have to get 2 people on an assembly line, if you've got 2 people in the foundry, if you've got 2 people on the milling machines, if you've got 2 people working the lathes, if you've got 2 people building houses, if one does a better job, he should get better pay. Right? That's always been my concept of the way the system should work. And people who, I also believe that people, if you are unable to work, then there should be a provision that keeps you, food on the table and a roof over your head, right? But, what we have in Australia is, I think, out of all the people I knew that were out of work, they're, smoking, drinking, and still manage to pay rent, yet they're on the dole. How does that work? They're making absolutely zero effort to actually go and get a job. Especially in our blue ribbon area of Hornsby. We had one guy in a 5-bedroom house just down the street, hadn't worked for 13 years or something, right? Don't know how he managed to get a bloody brand new car, and but he's on the dole. How does that work? Well, anyway, let's just change the subject altogether. Well, we're only allowed to breathe here on Wednesday. Is that right, Maya, Stephen? Very good. Slow night at work. Break the tablet out. Okay, good. I'd like to see you making an effort. Everybody making an effort to come on the stream. That's the main thing. I've got 22 people watching now. I should actually put on that one to make sure I get the timestamp so I know how far back I am. Andy, Dave, here we go. Okay. Hey there. I like your girlfriend. I really want to meet a woman like that, but scared of the backlash. Had fun with one before, but it was regrettable. Okay, it's an interesting, interesting take on that situation. Look, I certainly can't recommend, a transgender lifestyle for everybody. Unfortunately, I've always trod a different road. BDSM community, in that sort of in the pagan community, seeing all sorts of different lifestyles from the way I grew up, and gender was really not part of it. I was trying to find a person that I could really relate to, and when I met Chanya, she just basically, it was almost an instant sort of love affair. So what can I say? Happens every so often. As for the backlash, well, just watch this channel. I get it all the time. Just got to look at the comments sections. There's always at least one or two videos that they are constantly, giving their 2 cents worth. But hey, well, the more comments, the better the video ranks. So there you go. I don't care. What's the price of electricity like in Thailand? Interesting, you should say that. I went through and did my filing last night. We're getting ready to move. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think the price has really changed. E for electricity. I don't know. See if we can get a rate. We'll actually have the rate on here. Type 212 last meter reading. So, okay, so 1100 kilowatts was for sort of with taxes. So it's so we'd go calculator. Don't ask me to do math these days. So that was clear. That 4721 divided by 1123. That was 4.2 baht per kilowatt hour. So somebody else can do the rest of the math from there. That's 4.2 baht per kilowatt hour. So 5 baht is. I can't do the math these days. E for electricity.
And I think you're paying about the same as I am.
Is that right? Well, it's not cheap.
Something around 15 cents a kilowatt hour.
Yeah, it's. I think it's still cheaper than Australia, though. I don't know. So I think the standard rate was 26, 28 cents.
I'm on hydroelectric up here.
Oh, okay. I think it was 26, 28. Like I was actually on off peak, so I was paying, like that triple rate. There was, what they call 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. was like 36 cents per kilowatt hour. Then it went down to from 8 p.m. to midnight. It went down to like 18 cents per kilowatt hour, and from midnight to 6 a.m. it was like 8 or 9 cents per kilowatt hour. So it actually worked out well because there was nobody at home. It was just a sensible thing to do. But I'm not quite sure that what the current rate is. One of these Aussies here, I'm sure, will tell us the current rate. But it was a 4.2. Let's see if I can get a quick exchange rate on that one. That's not exchange rates. What's the exchange rate? There we go. Oh, dollar's back up again. Had a bit of a drop. Converter. 4.2. So that's 17 Aussie cents per kilowatt hour. So that's almost like our off-peak rate from 8 to midnight. But again, prices could have gone up in Australia as well. Anyway, so let's all Andy stuff. Let's all go woke. Yeah, fair enough. Biggest complaint about lockdown for Perth people is stuffed up their long weekend. I have no idea, no doubt about it. Perth is shut down. Speculation to community of case. I got lucky for 3 weeks. Blah 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 blah. There are some hotties in the last motor show you went to. Yeah, there was a few nicer looking girls there. You know, still the face mask thing sort of takes it away a bit, but you know how it goes. Philippines for us. Never care about anyone else. That's it. Yeah, never care about anyone else. As long as you're having a good time, you know, you can really be bold like I am, and you know, make a video of your life and sort of show people that it can be quite normal, which is really the main idea behind the channel, isn't it? You know, a normal life with in a transgender relationship. I'd probably sort of double my subscriber count if I actually changed the name to, you know, a normal life in a transgender relationship. And I can just imagine all the trolls that'll come along from that one. Yes, I got my trusty 7-Eleven coffee here today. Yeah, there we go. All cafe. Yes, there it is. Can't see it. There we go. All cafe. I love my coffee. E for electricity. Is that Robert Groves? Good morning. How you doing? It's crazy. That's crazy cheap compared to Australia. You want to start Bitcoin mining? I got one of our Discord compatriots here, Richard. He's trying to get his exit out of America and bring his mining machines. He fully intends to set up his current. I think he said he's got 12 or 15 mining machines in his house at the moment, grinding away at the numbers. And he says he wants to move that to Thailand for the cheaper rates. He may even have more machines now. I don't know. Robert getting started. Leisures in Australia is roughly the same. Thailand is roughly the same as Australia, I think. Here we are paying $120 a month. Australia we're paying $300 a quarter. Yeah, but don't forget you're probably running the air conditioners more and things like that. I don't know. Yeah, so my bill here is about what I was paying in Australia. So you know, yeah, it all works out. But of course, I know I'm always home, and people are always home. So that's the thing. The difference is there was nobody at home in my house in Australia. Yet I'm still paying, I was still paying what $250 a month or something like that in my house in Australia. That was just for the air conditioner at night and the summer and the reverse cycle in winter. Running the computers when I was home. I think I ran my computers 24/7 anyway. I had to ditch the waterbed because that was I think the waterbed alone, just to run the waterbed, was $300 a quarter. That was $100 a month just to run the waterbed, keep the temperature stable. Yeah, so we're just using a lot more electricity here because we're always home. Well, the water here is more expensive than that's. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the water bill is. I think the last bill for the water was about 220 baht for the month or something like that. Ralph Lewis, I just paid 120 US for the month of get this heat. Right? Okay. Mr. Mitch, g'day. How you doing? Good to see you come along again. Anyway, I did start this morning. I was going to show you the window tinting, wasn't I? So there's the sample I put on the window. Looks like I caught up anyway. Yeah, so let's flick through the photos. Yeah, so that's the view through the front door without the tint on. So that would be the normal glass view. Then you got the tint on there, and that's when it overlaps between the two windows. That's 80% to 160% tint. On the outside, it has got a nice mirrored surface on. It's not the full mirror. It's not the full one-way mirror style. It's with this particular one. If you've got light on the inside and it's night time, you'll still be able to see in because there's more light inside than out. But it does give a nice mirrored effect. Gives a bit more privacy on the overall house. It sort of adds a little bit more of a flair to the house as well on the outside with the tinting on it. Our water bill's over about a month, but yeah, that's right. It's watering the grass, I know. Now we know how to find your house. Looks like, looks. Just look for the washing on the fence. Is that right? That's right. They're just the rags that these guys were using to wipe the windows down, because they do. You know, when they put the tint on, they've got to wash down the windows with soap and all that sort of stuff to lay the tint. So that's the rags that they don't use paper towel. They've got to use lint-free rags, or those the lint stays on the windows. So they're special towels. Yeah. So. Hey, Mr. Messi, and quite a few channels. Yeah, Mr. Mitch is a avid YouTube watcher and a YouTube supporter. He's one of our good, what they call community members here, getting advanced screening. And so same with Andy, he gets advanced screening on all the videos, which is the option you've got if you're looking at it. We do have a membership here on the program. You get that little fancy little gizmo thing on your, even though he's got the spanner already. We also have the Patreon as well, so don't forget the Patreon if you want to be a little bit more private about your sponsorship. No need for heat in Thailand, only air conditioning. Exactly. I've sort of mentioned this a couple of times to Chanya. The whole idea of reverse cycle air conditioning is just totally, it's like, there was these talks about the, in the 1700s and 1800s of the global exploration, these ships would sail past places like Fiji, and the Fijians wouldn't even notice a ship because it's just not in their, it doesn't compute. What is that on the horizon, Same with tyres and reverse. It doesn't compute. Why would you want to make heat? Mind you, I have seen some weird photos come up on Stick Boy where they've actually put the compressor on the inside of the house and put the, I don't know how that works, but yeah, you get some strange photos from Thai people sometimes. Only 3 or 4 for me. I'm a bot. That's it. Yes. Yeah. So the window tint. Again, the guy next door has also put tint on his, so we're the same as him. But it does. It cuts. Once the tint went on, there was automatically a noticeable reduction in the heat in the house as well. So it's doing a pretty good job. We'll really see about till tomorrow. I believe I start moving some shit over there tomorrow. So it does, you can still see out. It's got, but it definitely cut the heat down. So I'm very happy. We've been looking at nameplates, where we're going to sort of settle for something like this style here for the house nameplate. I've already done some artwork on that, I think. Where's my artwork? Pictures. I threw something together. What did I do? Where did I put it? Hey, I need to do some sorting out of this shit here. There we go. JPEG. JPEG? Okay. Let's try it that way. Yes, something like that, but doing it in a sort of a silver at the bottom there. So, a little bit of a motif sort of thing. I don't know, what do you reckon? 118/18, Chanya and Wazza, Wonderland. We're going to call it Wonderland because like she's got the salon, which is Alice Beauty Salon. Now we're going to have Alice in Wonderland. Anyway, you gotta love it. We come up with all these crazy ideas. But yes, we'll take that sort of thing to get it made up like that. But again, we're still going to work out the exact size. When are you going to start the car under the roof When are you going to start the car under the roof? Start the car under the roof. Oh, cover. Car under cover. I'm just reading that all wrong. When we put the annex on, I think that's coming the 26th of May. The annex is due to come in. Can you use brown panels on the front as a reminder board? Right daily schedule. That's a lot of water, Mr. Craig. Looks really nice. Well, yep, okay. What is it? Looks good. Now all you need to do is mirrors on the ceiling and pink champagne on ice. Okay, X, how you doing? You need to make some business cards like that. Maybe I should, yeah, I don't know. Aloha from Bangkok. Kiwan, how you doing? Mr. Nile, top of the morning to you. Look, I don't believe that photo you did, the February to April photo. I'm pretty sure that's a photo from the archives. I'm pretty sure you weren't that overweight in February. I just think it was a bad photo shot, that one. Robert Groves, Robert. Mr. Mitch, I actually got a new address today. A virtual mailbox service here in town. Registered to vote from my new address, having all the mail forwarded to the new address. I did that. There was a service I used in Australia for the first 12 months, while that transitional period went over, but everything eventually got sent to my. Now I got to go through that whole process again to send all my Australian mail to my new address, which tends to be a bit of a challenge, but I'll get it done hopefully within the month. Through the looking glass, yes. Alice through the looking glass, yeah, that's another way to look at it. Easy to remember. Numbers always, street names are another story. Oh yeah, just quickly to just give you an idea, the addressing system, it's bizarre. I have to keep a little, if I go into my drafts, I keep a special drafts, there we go, my contact details. Where is it? Yeah, that's the new address there. 118/18 Mu 13, and I have to then translate it to so Mu 13 Rai King Sampran Nakhon Pantom Thailand 73210. That's a damn mouthful. It really is. Yes, that's the English, that's the Thai version. Looks easier to write in Thai if I actually knew how to use my Thai keyboard. If you want to find it on the map, all you need to do is you put in that. So you use the Google street.
I thought moo was pork.
Hmm?
I thought moo was pork.
Moo, no, it's how you say. No, that's moo is actually moo is beef. No, sorry. No, sorry. What am I supposed to say? Moo barn, yeah. Kalpat, yeah. I think it's the way you pronounce it. Kalpat moo, and moo. One's a short vowel and one's a long vowel. But yeah, if you want to find the street, just P7WR plus W4. That's the Google address. There you go. Look at that. Zooms right in on top of the house. So that's how they do their addressing system. Yeah, because nobody knows how the addressing system works here in Thailand. It's quite bloody bizarre. She wants to get this for the temple and for the little. Got to put a little temple inside the house, so she's looking at something like that for the inside of the house. Goes on a special little stand. At the front of the door so people can see it. It's got to be in front view of everybody. Anyway, let's just minimize. We'll go and look at the let me see if I can catch up on everything here. Wonderland is a new bar in Hua Hin, really. It's amazing there's getting bars open in Hua Hin. House at the market today, May 5th, yeah, okay, good. 3-year water tanks, 15,000 litres. If your water tanks burst, Char arm will be flat. I can only imagine, Stephen. Exactly. Man, I'm tired. I keep hearing feedback. An echo. I forgot I started watching on my phone. That's old age, Mr. Mitch. Come on. You hear things and you see double, and then you forget a lot of shit too. Something just comes with old age. Trouble is, no, Chaham is one of the driest areas in Thailand. 2 hours of rain since October. Is that all you got, was it? 2 hours? How much fell in that 2 hours? That's the big question. No, man, I did another photo from your meet night on March, and yesterday I'll send you it on Discord. It's probably how much weight you lose when you walk 100 kilometres per week. I have no doubt, especially in this heat, that'll sort of really shed some of the water, some of the what they call the water fat. If you remember, sort of, Frank Herbert's Dune. All you foreigners, you weren't Fremen, water fat. Sadly, Mark, you're on code football, yeah. Well done, Niall. Yes, I probably should walk further, but I said once we move house, I'll be push biking up to the local 7-Eleven. It's 2.5 kilometres there and back. Did Chanya get the house address with the numerology for psychics? Don't look, excellent. Look, as we've been doing the house hunting, the number of the house had a big thing in her world. I don't know how big it was, but there was definitely sort of, when she saw 118/18, those numbers were good for her. So it was another big plus for why we chose that house. I didn't go into it much, but yeah, the numerology, 108, 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, so 20, really number 2. That's interesting. So that's a really number 2 for numerology, which is again the same as my birthday. My birth date is a really number 2. So I just said, thanks for reminding me. So there you go. I think those numbers are good. It means the fact that we're in synchronicity with the numerology tables. No, I'm sort of ouch, Mark. I'm about to watch Geelong West Coast on. What are the main attractions near the new house, Warren? Okay, well, do we want to do a street view? I did this for somebody else the other day. Well, actually, we did it on Discord. Let's do a street view. There was a recent. So this was from December 2020. So they still hadn't did a lot of the paint work, but those houses were ready. So that's the estate. They were just putting the box there. That box is built, but the gates aren't. So okay, so street view. You'll notice if we go down here 2 steps, that's where the cable breakout is. So there's our house there. It's a 1, 2, 3. There's our house. And that's the cable junction, the fibre junction into the uplink. They didn't take it from there. They actually had to take it around through that pole to that pole to that pole into the house. But yeah, let's go up the street. So yes, we got the door, the gate on the left. We've got our little village Thai style 7-Eleven there. Ample Leo in the beer, as you can see. Ample Leo beer in the fridge, as you can see. I think they've also got some Chang in there, Coke, a few others. He doesn't do iced coffee, so I'm going to have to do the push bike thing up the road for the iced coffee. There's usually somebody out the front there on the corner as well with doing noodles. So we go a bit further. There's one of the Thai style dormitory houses. The single room, 28 square metre or maybe 24 square metre. Looking at the size of those ones, dormitory style housing. And going up a bit further, so we've got plenty of tree dicks on the right hand side. Tree dicks, bananas. If you didn't get the I, I just, one of them stuck with me. Tree dicks. I think I saw it on a post from somewhere. A Thai was trying to explain what a banana was in English. You know, that was funny. Augie, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Come in. You're talking about tree decks.
Tree dicks, yeah. They look
Somebody's
like
got a fixation.
they look like tree dicks, don't they? Come on. Yeah, they're bent like a deer. Come on. Anyway, and they're yellow tree dicks. I think the post was yellow. It's one of those things that sticks in your mind. Yellow tree dicks. Oh my God. Yes, this is the clong that goes all the way up the road there. The road is a little bit hard to navigate because you've got these poles on the side, but there's a.
Did they jump out and try and swat you?
The poles, no. That's a primary school there. We've got a few tractors on the street. There's a grader tractor. Lots of rice fields. That one there on the on the right and left hand side there, that's actually a commercial fishing farm. I don't know if you know these little things. It's actually always full of water, and they grow what's that fish, that tilapia, is it? Tilapia, or what they call it?
Tilapia.
Tilapia. They grow tilapia in that pond there. Yeah, so rice on the side there. Going a bit further up, there's a few factory outlets. There's a couple of water tanks. That's what gives us our water pressure. It's not very high, is it? And they're not. The head pressure as well is pretty low. I would expect from that. If everybody turns their shower on in the morning, water pressure can drop quite severely. That's why you got to have pumps. The fish food for the tilapia. A few more factories around there. Going up a bit further, some sort of little estate there. That's a private residence, of course. Hyso, they probably own all the rice fields around there. Another factory on that side. Going a bit further, and I've missed the road. Yeah, so I did a video at the PopeKael Terrace restaurant 6 months ago or 8 months ago. You can see it. There's the PopeKael Terrace restaurant. They'd just done the rice cutting then. So that was October. That was the second cut, I think it was. A bit further up. Let's see if we can zoom up. There's a couple of little, I think, stores here, like eateries. I'm not quite sure what they serve in there, but it's like a Thai-style kitchen. There's usually always somebody fishing off this little pier here. I always think that it's always crazy. Like this is how you get into this house. It's a little ramp with a gate like that for privacy. Weird. Mobile tower up there. Going a bit further up the road. Another sort of little house. More rice. So it's in one sense it's fairly rural, yet it's still pretty close to Bangkok.
Mayor Groves wants to know if there's many soy dogs around.
In this soy here, this is another little estate just a bit further, just up near the main road. And there's a few soy dogs around there, which none of them seem to be too bad, aggressive. I have ridden down there. I didn't get attacked. Again, these little sort of Thai-style houses, like these little dormitory sort of houses. We're getting up to the main road here. Yeah, so we've got a Big C market. So you got four styles of Big C. You got Big C Mini, which is like the 7-Eleven version of Big C. Then you got the big C, which is the standard, like it's like well, in Australia we would have called them big W stores, where you got it's more like an Aldi store where you got food and you also got home home gear, like TVs and washing machines and generally household goods. Then you get the big C extra, which is like an extra size, a big C, and then you get the big C market, and all they have in the big C market is just your food produce, canned foods, your washing, there's things for home care. You don't get TVs and washing machines in the marketplace. So, and again, they don't even have my coffee there. So I've actually got to go. This is where I got to go, and I got to ride my push bike, reverse contraflow down here a bit further. This is where I got to ride my push bike. A bit further down here. And there we go. There's the Portotor. The Portotor, Portotor, PTT, Portotor. And there's your 7-Eleven there. And you'll also notice up the back there's an Amazon cafe. So I got two choices for coffee. I probably would prefer to go for the 7-Eleven coffee because it's only 30 baht. The coffee tastes the same as Amazon, but it costs 55 baht for the same size coffee. So I think I'll stick with the 7-Eleven. And it's not so far to ride my push bike, so there you go. So that's a bit of a street view going that way. Let's go back into the, give you a bit more of a top-down view. So where were we? Yeah, so as for estates, so this little old estate here, as I said, there's a few older style buildings with that dormitory. There's our estate there with the fresh roads. There's another estate here. That one's full, and there's no thoroughfare between our estate and that estate for now. I'm sure that there's something will happen to get put along there. Seems like there's a bit of a dirt road here. Something may sort of develop at some stage. There may be sort of a shortcut because there is a 7-Eleven a bit closer here. If we can get some sort of easier access to go from here to that road, I might take it rather than go down the road, because that's another 7-Eleven there. What else you got? Another sort of factory style living sort of housing sort of estate thing. More factories. There's another estate here. The interesting thing is when you start to look at the three 7-Elevens, it's 2.2 kilometres to 7-Eleven here by road. It's 2.3 kilometres to 7-Eleven here, and there's another 7-Eleven up here, which is also 2.3 kilometres. I'm totally surprised that we haven't actually got a 7-Eleven closer, and I'm pretty sure that there's a little sort of store just here, which we've been to a few times. I can almost, in a couple of years, maybe she's going to get an upgrade of this, and it'll become a new 7-Eleven. Who knows? She's a bit more of the home project, a bit more of the 7-Eleven style. I can't see that she makes coffee, but she makes special, special sodas if you ask. So she may also make iced coffee as well. Otherwise, I might have to just start making my own coffee, but I prefer to do the exercise. There's a bike path that goes through there to the main road. We've got the big market up here, which is what do you call it? Wat Don Wai. That's the big food produce market. We'll do more street. I'll do some more videos when we actually move in. I'm going to do some videos from those locations, give you a bit more of an idea. We'll walk around since that's where it is. When Stephen Clark moves over here, he'll be within 5 kilometres. I won't actually give you. I know roughly where he is. I won't say much more, but let's just say he's in roughly in this location as well. The Aris restaurant, they do good Chinese. We did a video from there once. So they've got a Chinese restaurant there. Got a few other places up here as well. I think we've been to. We've got a Tesco Lotus Express in here. So that's another big shopping mall there. And of course bound, I think most recently, yeah, Central Salia. We've done videos from that shopping mall there. We've done Thai Royal, which is the home improvement store there. And I think most recently when we did the thing, Global House, Thai Royal there is actually bigger than Global House. I don't know, have I done I don't think I've done a video from this one here. I'll have to go and check that one out. I just didn't know whether we went to that Thai Royal down here. I think that's probably because closer to where we were. So that Thai Royal is quite big too. And of course the nearest big C is just here. This one here, this is the one that will probably become our, our Wednesday, Thursday or Saturday night local haunt hangout. When we've done our when she finishes work, she wants to go to the big C. We end up going down to PopeKael, which is down there. That's where we used to go because it was closer. But now I'm pretty sure we're going to relocate to this one. She's going to want to go here at least once or twice a month because that's the big C, and there's this big market area here. This is a closed-in market, and you get the street market starting from here going all the way, I think, down to that 7-Eleven, and goes up to about here. It's just a big street market. You really can't tell from that picture, but I think if I zoom in here, it depends on what time they did the video at. Yeah, you can't really tell from there because the time of day. It's one of the morning times. It's like all these places. Daytime, they're devoid of people, and all these tents. I think that's the only part that stays there. Everything else just pops up overnight. From about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it just pops up every day, and they pull it down at sort of 10 o'clock at night. Absolutely amazing stuff. The work they do just to make a quid. And don't forget, they do that every day, rain, hail or shine. Most of the time it's shine, and it's they're doing it 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it's the heat of the day. Absolutely amazing. Thais really are keen when it comes to that sort of stuff. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little walkthrough. So, what have they been talking about behind my back, Oggy? Might get this catch up. What have I been talking about behind my back? Well, has he gone to sleep again, has he? Okay, let's scroll up. There's a clong bar.
Sorry, I'm sitting there chatting my head off, and I got my speakers muted. Yak. So where have you been? Where's your late night? I haven't seen you on the game all week. Oh, it's been we're on the last 2 weeks of our special season at work, so right. It's just been a week from hell. So I've been relaxing when I get off work. I found a really good video on Elite Dangerous yesterday to do with what they call the trade angle of the game. And yeah, I'll have to tell you about that when we finish here because I've been doing the trade all wrong. Like I've probably been sort of doing at maximum maybe 20 million an hour, but if from what I've done now to do it the right way, you can make a lot more money than that. So yeah, and David was with me last night. We set up a squadron and a wing, and I'm trading. I'm using him as well. He only had a 20-ton cargo ship, and I got the 272-ton cargo ship. Right, he's taking 20 tons. I'm taking 272 tons between our locations. Right, and we're both taking access to the 20 million per job. It was big bucks. That was just one job. I think it's one trade deal. It's only like one system across, 7 or 8 light years away. the jobs started coming through. I think we started at 4 million for a job. Then they wanted to offer 8 million. The next one was 12 million. Then it was 18 million. Right, and I think the one I've got that's got 6 days to complete. I've got I think it's 26 million is the one that we're working on now. Right, and they just keep on offering more and more money. It's just I'll have to explain it to you. But yeah, it's just basic.
Sounds interesting.
So it's got to bounce backwards and forwards. Having a bigger cargo ship, as the team would get them done faster. I said, 272 tons plus 20 tons wasn't really getting through the trade deals very big. I could probably ship out my big hauler. It's only one system away, but there's a few pirates in there want to interdict you every time I come in. So that big hauler's a bit of a bastard trying to steer out of interdiction. But anyway. We'll go through that when you get back on. So what have they been talking about behind my back?
Well, they're talking about you getting a rowboat to get your exercise instead of that.
A rowboat?
Yeah, you got the clong there. You can just.
I was thinking, I do enjoy fish. Maybe sort of, I don't know how many tilapia are in the creek there, but I can see there's a lot of activity in the creek, and I do see the Thais sitting there with the fishing rods.
You just swim on down.
Swim on down.
I don't know if I'd want to swim in the clong. I mean,
I'm pretty sure I've seen some pretty hefty wakes from something that lives in there. They're either crocodiles or monitor lizards. I really don't know the difference. They don't show their head above water, so I'm guessing they might be monitor lizards. I don't really want to swim with them.
Stephen was just suggesting a jet ski.
That road looked pretty sketchy for coming back from Susie's, though.
Yeah, well, it's just concrete. It should be okay. It's a bit on the narrow side, You just got to watch when the trucks go down
narrow and
there.
no drop offs.
Yeah, there's a gut. You end up in the rice fields. You don't want to be coming home drunk at night and missing the road. Yes.
Mr. Richie Kingston wants to know if you've informed Stephen that his room might be getting smaller.
I think Stephen already knows his room's getting smaller. He's got to share it. Then we have to set up a timeshare.
They're gonna have to hot bunk.
Hot bunk. That's it.
You could put 3 people in there on a hot bunk schedule. One person's got it for 8 hours a day, next person's got it for 8, and another person's got it for the next 8.
There we go. There's Tex. He's got the right idea. The Loch Ness Clong monster. But yeah, get myself a fishing rod. A small fishing rod. Maybe I can catch some fish.
If it's that big a fish, you might need a crane.
No, way.
Cable.
Well, we got the live-in cat here. The cat that's claimed us as it's claimed us now, and wants food every day now. So she may be coming with us. So yeah.
Well, I would hope so.
So I'm gonna have to find fish. Maybe have to get a fishing rod and catch the fish for the damn cat.
Yeah. Well, that, or you could just let the cat fish on its own.
Ralph Lewis, the co-worker, just mentioned fail Friday, i.e. time clocks are broken. Is that right? Andy Stubbs, lizards, catfish and eels in the clongs, I'm guessing. Well, I've sort of seen some of the stuff that the guys have been pulling out there. They look like tilapia. They're only about maybe 6 inches long. But as you know, in Thailand, there is no minimum size. Basically, if you can catch it, then you can cook it. That's it. That seems to be how it works. Any what?
Do they have to have a license?
License? License?
To fish.
This is Thailand.
So we don't need no stinking licenses.
Of
course, I wonder if they have sturgeon over there. There are sturgeon in the Columbia River that they used to fish for with a team of horses and ropes.
Really? I don't think sturgeon would be. I think sturgeon need a.
I was always amazed at how much wildlife we had around, just especially around the house.
Okay.
Doesn't exist in Thailand. It gets eaten.
The Big W. G'day, Big W. How you doing? What's this? Who is this Stephen that apparently lives under the stairs? Well, Hogwarts wouldn't take him, so he has to stay under the stairs for now.
Well, that's what happens when you eat your owl.
When you eat your owl, you've been eating your owl again, Stephen. Um, you will need a dog to alert you the mother lizards. I've seen this cat that we got. She's only a small thing, but she takes the soy dogs on. You know, and the soy dogs are twice the size. She's a feisty little thing.
Cats are amazing that way. Dogs are smart enough to stay the hell away from them.
But she'll sit there and she'll.
Hey, Augie, you mentioned Columbia River. Did you live up north here? I thought you were in Arizona.
Well, I'm in Arizona now, but I'm a Central Washington native.
Oh, okay.
I'm from
I'm up in
Yakima.
Seattle.
Yep. Lived in Seattle for 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Portland for 6. Yeah.
Catfish and eels taste lovely. I don't know, together? Look, I used to, when I was in Australia, we used to go bush. We used to get eel in the local creeks, and throw them in the coals of the fire. Eel, freshwater eel. Well, I suppose you wouldn't call it freshwater. They always taste a bit salty, so I think they actually went to the saltwater part as well. But they were always lovely, sort of, for a nighttime, bushwalking dinner. Just got to watch the bones. That's all.
I had catfish last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Catfish, yeah. Well, I don't know if I've eaten catfish, but I probably have. He's apparently a wizard. It's Mr. Monash. He is a wizard. Yes. He just needs to get the beard growing, and the pointy hat. Then we can take photos of him and call him Gandalf.
Instead of Dumbledore, we'll call him Stumbles in the Door.
Stumbles in the door. Get yourself a few of those water monitor lizards from the Clong. Good eating, he says. Just don't get bitten by them. I believe they have a rather necrotic bite. It's just they're not like crocodiles, but if they do bite, they can get a necrosis of the skin or something.
We got poisonous lizard here called Gila monsters.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Good morning.
Good morning. G'day, David. That's David.
That's
David.
me. Good morning from prison, slackers.
Morning from prison. He arrived. You've been here 24 hours now, haven't you? Or 36 hours.
You're in your ASQ?
Yes, today is counted as day 3.
Day
as
3.
We found out if you land before 6 p.m., that day is counted as day 1, otherwise as day 0. So I landed midday, so that on Thursday. So today is day 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Day 3. You got 11 days, I think you said it was. He's got 11-day quarantine because he's coming.
10 nights.
Yeah.
10 nights. So
Yeah.
I managed 3 nights already.
Coming from you, even though he's fully vaccinated, he's still got because he's from Europe. He has to do the 10 days. He doesn't get any shorter or something.
Hang on, I managed 2 nights. Oh my god! I just woke up. So
there you go. No, I kept him
I
up
was
till 3
playing
o'clock.
till 7 a.m. this morning.
Oh,
the
that-
idiots brought me the breakfast at 6:25. Great.
Well,
Yes.
shoot, I would have been up by 3 hours by then.
By the way, Warren, the mission disappeared after you left.
Oh, did it?
The wing mission you shared, yeah. So
Okay,
I couldn't do anything on that.
It'll still be there.
But I got
when
the
we
ship
get-
pimped.
Oh, you got the ship. You pimped out the ship.
Yeah, but I had to find out that this website is, I think it's just outdated. So some items were not at the places where they were supposed to be, and
Yeah.
in a few sections, I think 1 or 2 sections, the ship has more slots actually than the website is showing.
It's got one more. It's got one more slot because there's what they call the planet landing engine. Right, is a default slot which is not listed. Right, you just can't. If you remove it, you can't put anything else in it. So it's not counted as a slot. Anyway,
Okay.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what time? So when I log back in, but what I'll do is I'll go through. There's a few more steps I can take. Now you've got the basic idea of the trade stuff. I can take you through the few little extra bits and pieces, like the connector, the extra piece of software you put on your computer, that at least keeps everything updated with the databases. So you actually contributing to the database. The database doesn't read from Elite Dangerous. The database is updated by a small program that you run on your computer that's reading what you see in a station, and then you're the one who's actually updating the database from your reference point. That's why some of these stations, like they're updated 5 minutes ago, some stations haven't been updated for 7 or 14 days. And that's the thing, you've got to learn all that sort of stuff. I'll take you through that when we're finished here. A lot more to it. As I said, the learning curve on the game is quite extensive. That's all I can say. And I've put a few hours into it now. What's my hours up to now? I'm sort of slowly getting the hang of it. Library. How many hours have I got clocked up now? Elite Dangerous. 273 hours. so there you go. Considering I hadn't played the game, started playing it 2 months ago, and I've had the game for 4 years. Only started playing it about 2 or 3 months ago. So not doing too bad. But anyway, back on. So the monitor lizards won't bother you. They usually race along the fence tops. Yeah, don't forget, we've got a fence top. So, and I believe they also climb the shelves of 7-Elevens as well. There was a viral video that was posted a week or two ago. This monitor lizard had come into a 7-Eleven and climbed on top of one of the cupboards. Got so many million views. It was crazy shit. Catfish apparently, yes. You can get yourself a few of those water monitor lizards from the client. Good, yeah, I think we did that. Iguana, gotta love autocomplete iguana. Okay, goanna. Look like.
What do the Australians call them? Goanna.
Well, no, the goanna is a different breed. It's a different genus. They just have different characteristics. They all look like large lizards, but they have, in Australia, we got, there's a frill neck lizard that only goes to about maybe 18 to 24 inches long and has a big, like frill that comes around. You'd have to sort of see these things. Then, of course, you've got the goanna, which is, good tucker, from the Aboriginal point of view. They're good eating, but they've got a 4 or 5 major genus in Australia, whereas other places tend to have like monitor lizards, and you don't really get a genetic difference in the monitor lizards in Thailand. It's basically Thailand has monitor lizards, and you got the iguanas. In Australia has this. That's it. We separated from the mainland, and I said, they sort of said maybe some billion years ago when the continental drift happened, and Australia has grown up, with all the weird and wonderful life forms, whereas everything else, I think, got culled out.
Oh, I think that it's just you guys. They didn't get to escape from Australia like the rest of you.
Oh, is that right?
Everything just started there. The stuff that's everywhere else escaped.
Oh, okay. Is that what it was? Okay. Yeah, that's it. That one of them was huge. They will introduce themselves at some stage. Just don't shit yourself. We had one walking through the soy down here the other day. Stop the traffic. Seems like people stop for them. I don't know why. Maybe it's bad luck to run them over. I don't know what the law is yet. I'm pretty sure they're not going to chase it.
Hello says I welcome our new monitor lizard overlords. I love that one.
Monitor lizards. Flat lizards don't really attack you, do they? Flat lizards. In Australia, we have a large lizards goanna, yeah, but I think we've got 2 or 3 different genus for the goanna. Then you got the frillnet lizard and a few others. I don't know. We can probably even find out. We got some.
Yeah, I love the ones with the that comes out around their head. Makes them look bigger, so things will think they're larger.
I know we got a sort of what's that one? African. That's not the frillnet. Yeah, that's the frillnet lizard. Makes themselves look bigger. to get me out of the screen. You got the that's right, the blue tongue. That's they can give a rather nasty bite, and they got one of those bites that when they latch on, they're a bitch to get off. Then the several new dragons. That's a dragon lizard. Let's see, no, frill neck goanna. Blue tongue, Australian lizards out back. Yeah, that's more like the goanna there. Yeah, sort of different colorations on them. And there's one that specifically likes trees, which is different to the one that's goes along the ground. And yes,
I like the ones that get up on their back feet running. Those are the hilarious ones.
Yeah, that's the I think what do you call it, the frill neck lizard tends to do the back feet thing, running across on two legs. Yeah, but yes, Australia wildlife. That's what it's all about. Anyway, digressing. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
It's Craig Garrison. Have you been to the two-story 7-Eleven in the coffee? Yes, I have. The upstairs is a coffee lounge, and I haven't done a video in there, but it's just a couple of streets down from Susie's, and when we would walk from Susie's place to one of the other night spots, yes, we tended to walk past it all the time. Sawyer Lev is also where the Australia Bar used to be. I think the Australia Bar is no longer. Now you know why the 7-Elevens is not near you. So why? Because of the water, because of the lizards. No, most of them kill you as well. Yeah, I don't know about goannas and stuff like that. They won't kill you. You might die from one because you run away and run into a tree or something, or run into a spider web that'll bite you.
Have you? That reminds me of a movie. Dave and Ted versus the Evil, or something like that. It's friggin' hilarious.
Can't say I've seen it or recall the thing.
Now I gotta find it. I think it's an Alan Tudyk movie.
They look like nothing. They look nothing like the computer screen to me. I have picked up a blue tongue on the golf course, and to show some Jap tourists. Yeah, they're fairly docile. If you just got to watch. They will snap at you. We had a blue tongue that lived in the back of our yard in Australia. They keep the mice down. The bush mice. Keep a blue tongue in your thing, you won't have bush rats or bush mice. Ran over the lawn. The grade 3 students are trying to force me to play Dino Tamers. We have the Gila monster. You've had the Gila monster, yes. Cattle dogs got yours. Don't forget the most deadly marsupials in Australia. Yes, the drop bear. That's it. Got to watch out for those drop bears. They especially like American blood.
Don't you call those koalas?
No, don't let the secret away. Don't tell them. No, it's only the people in the secret group are allowed to know that. But yeah, but unfortunately, koalas are actually heading for extinction because all the bushfires we've had recently. They just don't eat any leaf. There's a special type of eucalyptus gum that only really grows in forests in certain areas, in locations around Australia. But the problem is a eucalyptus gum is highly explosive when it comes to a bushfire, because that gum sort of, it's like they go off like little bombs. And so when a eucalyptus forest. I think probably one of the eucalyptus gum area. When it gets goes up in flame, those trees explode and kill all the freaking the koalas. And so they're heading for extinction. So not only did they were dying of I think a virulent disease 20, 30 years ago, which really sort of reduced their numbers. I think it was chlamydia. There's a variation of chlamydia that is rampant through the koala population. They were doing some sort of vaccination sort of type of process to try to eradicate it, but it wasn't doing very well, which knocked their numbers out. And then these bushfires we've had recently have just completely decimated the forest that they live in. Or we don't call it forest, we call it bush, eucalyptus areas. And yeah, their food supply is disappearing. It's a bit of a shame. Oh, and of course, I think I was reading an article the other day. Do you all remember the only war that Australia has fought alone? Do you remember the Australia war? The only Australian war that Australia has fought alone. It was against emus, and guess what? Australia lost. The war that the Australians lost was the war against the emus in 1932. Started in sort of the Depression years, 1928, 1929. Through the Depression years, the price of wheat dropped or something, in Western Australia, the emus, they just started, because they were turning the bush into arable land. The emus just moved in from the bush, started breeding because of all this lovely wheat that they could eat. And then the Australian government sort of, brought in the submachine guns to take care of them. And the reason why they lost the war, is they ran out of bullets. They ran out of bullets in the war against emus, and they finally gave up. It was costing them too much, to fight this war against these damn birds. And the birds got wise to it. They soon worked out what the range of these submachine guns were, and the accuracy of the people using them. And they would hide behind trees and all sorts of shit. And then they'd come in at night time and eat the crops. They eventually gave up and basically said, well, we have to do some other sort of farming. But anyway, the war that Australia lost. Tucker and Dale versus the Evil. Okay, I can't remember saying I've seen that one.
Are you a fan of Evil Dead?
I am. Yes.
Okay, this is actually filmed at the same cabin.
Oh, is it? And it's a spoof of Evil Dead, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's Alan Tudyk, and yeah, it's friggin' hilarious. It's these two rednecks who have bought this cabin, and they go up there to work on it. And there's some kids that show up thinking they're kind of serial killers or something, and just it's hilarious.
Okay, I'm not finding
it would be a good movie night movie.
I'm not seeing it from that, so I'm going to have to sort of do a better search on it later. Let's go there. Let's go a new thing, IMDb. Let's see if I can find the actual name of it.
They've got some good clips on YouTube of some of the funny moments.
Okay, that's probably what I was. There it is. It's VS. Oh, there we go. 2010 was, I don't know what sort of, 650 meg.
There's a 10 gigabyte Blu-ray version.
That's all right. I got some seeds. So there we go. There's 720p as well. So there you go. Well, there we go. That's movie night for tomorrow night, is it?
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'm going to have to actually sort of probably, re-edit the video at some stage, just to take that little bit of chicanery out of the actual video. Can't teach you guys any bad habits, you know. You know, I guess.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
G'day. Stream sponsor. There you go.
Oh,
$2. Thanks very much for that. 1,000 internet points for you. That's it. Tequila monster. Tequila monster. Yes. Those yellow things, they can be quite devastating at 10 o'clock at night if you can get them to make them properly. Tequila sunrises. I love them.
Jalapeno margaritas. Now there's a good one for you.
It's one of my favourite drinks. Used to be that tequila sunrise.
I love tequila sunrises and sunsets.
Mm-hmm. Calling BS on the koala thing all about government grants and funds these days. Bloody things are a plague proportions in some areas. Are they? I don't know. Maybe it's just I've just been reading the misinformation, but Wires and a few other places like that that I frequent do sort of talk about the decimated numbers of the koala. They don't like being transplanted either, from what I understand. Oh, don't start on the cane toad problem here. Horror stories are similar to the Great Wall of China being... Andy Stubbs, thanks. You don't have to do that, Mr. Stubbs. You know, you're already a stream patron anyway. Pizza for lunch. I was actually going to have pizza tonight. I haven't had pizza for a couple of weeks, so yeah, it looks like pizza's on the cards for tonight. Because I can't get Grab where I am because there's nothing in the area for Grab where in the new house. So we put the address in like the other day, and what's available? Just freaking, although they're in Grab distance, there's two things I think. Because of the fact that the house addressing it's so new, Google Maps doesn't actually have an easier addressable system, and it's almost like you can't get shit there. Or maybe it's the fact that there was nothing really available during the day when I was checking. I'll have to check at night. But you should be able to get pizza, I would have thought. But anyway, it's one of those little challenges. Feral pigs, cane toads, wild dogs, and cats and rabbits, camels, buffaloes, and natives. Are they? I think all those were all they were all brought into Australia. The gum trees exploding is why the drop bears are so vicious. Very good. So I'm just trying to. I'm guessing that that's supposed to be Aztec, is it? Hi, Aztec. Maybe that's just me. Okay.
That's what it looked like to me. It's a
yes.
elite method of spelling Aztec.
Yeah, it's a unique way of doing it, just to confuse everybody. Craig Garrison, the last bushfire, 1 billion animals and almost 1/3 of koala population. Yeah, so I suppose different news for different people.
I'd say that sounds like a hell of a barbecue.
Tell me about it. I would rather fight a grizzly than a koala. No, I think those little furry animals. Then you might get a few scratches, but I think a grizzly would take. Grizzlies like to rip your arms off. Koalas don't rip your arms off. Okay. Grizzlies will rip your arms off and then beat you over the head with your own arm.
Koalas are so invasive; they just rip your heart out with their lovely little eyes.
Lovely little eyes, yes. What do we got?
They're the Jedi masters of the bear family.
Ralph Lewis, gaming bears, gummy bears. Bloody autocorrect. Yeah, whoever invented this damn autocorrect? Seriously.
Oh, we've got something even worse where I work. It's called Melissa data, and it's the U.S. Postal Service's address system.
Mm-hmm.
And we can only put in addresses that are approved by Melissa. And
is that right?
So if it doesn't match a U.S. Postal Service address, it won't let us put it in our system.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like, what?
Oh, no, I'm going to have such. I've said David's ordered an e-scooter and he's having it delivered here in the next week or so because he didn't have an address
Yeah.
in ASQ to have it delivered, and of course he's only there for 10 days.
It's a
So
bit
he's gonna,
delayed, by the way. They told me.
that's a bit delayed already, is it?
I've been delayed.
Yeah,
so,
they say they have very high demand at the moment, peak season, so they will only ship it in May.
yeah, that's going to present a problem because it's going to arrive here, and we hope to be out of here by the second week in May. So let's hope it gets here in time. Otherwise, we're going to have to sit watch. Pain in the ass. But anyway, we'll work something out. The last bushfires, 1 billion. Yeah, we did that. Could you imagine how slow death by koala is? Yeah. As they had their little sort of their sad eyes scratching your heart out. Yes. Koalas, the tribbles of Australia. Not so much. I think the tribbles didn't have claws. Is that right? I don't think tribbles had claws. Koalas have claws, and those claws, they allow them to climb those trees quite nimbly. And that's what I think. When you're handling most of the wildlife, the wise people, when they're handling koalas,
Reggie, that was bad.
they have a sort of a
Sounds
chain.
more than anyone could bear.
Yeah, they have a sort of a chainmail vest that they have to wear because the koalas, if they want to get out, those claws are quite vicious. But yeah, breaking news. Just heard that the Thailand's another 28. Yeah, I was going to bring those. Where are we? I did have that one there. So yeah, 53 to 28,030. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning there, so sorry, I'm in the middle of the screen so you can't read it. Yep, there's another one. 42 properties, 20,000 baht fine if you don't wear a mask. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so it's a whole bunch. We may get to that. I don't know. We're having too much time just chatting amongst ourselves today. Craig is a trait from the greenwashing alarmist handbook. 10% of the country used to burn annually before white men arrived. Yes, that is true as well. Mind you, we didn't have so many open fields. We actually had, trees, in the plains out west, rather than flat areas. And it's turning it into grassland for cattle is what's devastated our land at the moment. But such is life. Trouble, haven't heard that for a while. Yes. Yep, that's right. A platypus has a venomous spur, and there's there's only 2 marsupials that actually lay eggs for their young. That and the echidna.
Well, aren't you saying that Australia's kind of like Ark? It's like everything's trying to kill you.
Well, that's it. Yeah, Ark is like they should have that Ark Island. They should have made it in the shape of Australia. They really should have. It would have gone down so much better. Grizzlies attacked some guy at Yellowstone the other day and chomped his hands as he tried to protect his neck. Had a stroke in the hospital and died. Damn it! Oh yeah, it's bad for him. Yeah.
Well, that's because hospitals kill you.
Hospitals kill you.
Well, they had a strike here in the U.S. back in the 70s, where nobody could go to the hospitals to get surgeries and stuff because there was a big medical strike. The death toll dropped tremendously.
Is that right?
Because nobody was going to the hospitals and dying.
Yeah. Don't worry. I've heard those stories. You got to start to take a bit of that with a grain of salt. But what we also, as I said in the last video, we're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right.
Take care of yourself. Put your health in the hands of somebody else. You need to have a lot of trust. But yeah, anyway. How much can a koala bear? You would be scary if you're permanently intoxicated too. Yeah, okay. Permanently intoxicated. Not quite sure. I don't think that the eucalyptus makes them intoxicated, does it? Maybe it does. I don't know. I've never eaten gum leaves. XO, hey man. Here's to hoping that Phuket July 1, no quarantine zone holds up. I've got tickets already. Okay, I suppose we're probably going to use the last 30 minutes to quickly just go through the news articles. I've been trying to get some sort of format going, so we do news first and chat last, but it doesn't seem to work that way. So what have we got? So then we got Red Crosses. Let me just refresh that. NNT 29 minutes ago. Anything in there? Delicious food. Red Cross, Red Cross Society has issued an urgent appeal. I did post something. I posted something on one of these posts from these people the other day. I would have no problem, right, going down and donating blood, but can we at least be put on the waiting list to get a vaccine? Right, at the moment foreigners are not even considered at the moment. They've said back in February the fact that there won't be any distancing, when the vaccine becomes available, foreigners and Thais. It's only been said once, but every article ever since has always emphasised Thais first. Look, I would go and happily donate blood, but not while you treat us like second-class citizens. Oh, and the hate mail I got from that comment, on Facebook, seriously.
So have you checked to see if you can get the vaccine through the private hospitals?
Well, that's the thing.
Maybe not the government, but through private.
That's something that's actually been said. Like this, that Phuket now have testing to enter Phuket, right? Thais get tested for free. Yes, right. Here's the article here. Thais get tested for free, whereas foreigners have to pay for it. Welcome to Phuket. Following the few days of negative publicity of the dual pricing policy of rapid costed and antigen tests for passengers at the airport or Thai Chanya checkpoints, people coming to road, you would have thought there would be some misunderstanding noise coming, but no. In fact, Phuket officials are doubling down on the controversy that sees foreigners charge 500 baht for rapid tests, even if they have a work permit and pay the local health insurance. Well, again, this bullshit of dual pricing is ridiculous.
500 baht for a test, that doesn't seem.
No, it's not much. The point is the principle, right? The principle, right? They charge you because they can, because you're a foreigner. That's the end of story. Could you play this one?
We have dual pricing here in the U.S. on a lot of things. If you're like the national parks, if you are a citizen, you don't have to. You pay a lower price than people that are coming in from out of country. So it's not like it's a completely unforeseen, unknown thing in the West either.
Yeah,
it's kind of like our colleges charging two rates. If you are a resident of the state, your rate's 1/10 or 1/100th of what out-of-state students get charged.
I've just got a request here from Mr. Mitch. He says he wants us to play this one. Just hold on. Let me just pause that and bring it to the beginning. That's 2.8 million views, so it'll be copyright. But we can use it there. You've got the link. Mr. Mitch has put the link up there. We can do a few shots. The dog running through there. Into the pile of leaves. I've seen this before. Dogs and fun. What's this? Got a little.
You got a butterfly suit on him.
I find that doesn't strike as long as I do that, and I just flick through it. Yeah, dogs have all the fun. They really do, don't they? I've always wanted to jump in those big piles of grass. Anyway, so play it for yourself so you get the full view, guys. If I play it, then of course it'll strike. and then I'm going to go and edit
The
it
link's
out.
there. Anybody can play it off the link.
That's right. Anybody can play it off the link. Phuket officials stick to their dual pricing. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. This bullshit that goes on. While they consider, I said, while they continue to do this bullshit, I'm not going out of my way to help anybody. Fuck it. Yeah, it's my attitude. Wake up, become human again, people. Right? We're all human beings. We should all be treated the same.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing here on the vaccine. Anybody can get it. It's no charge. Period. You don't have to be a citizen or anything. They've now dropped it to anybody 16 and over is eligible for the vaccine.
Yeah, look, I'm sure that once the vaccines arrive here and they start rolling it out. Actually, I read that what's happening in America, you're getting to a point in the American culture where they're starting to see a surplus of vaccine because you're now hitting that curve of the people who don't want vaccination.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Give people here a bit more of a comment on that one from your point of view. Just explain that one to them.
Just idiots, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's so much disinformation out there about the side effects of the vaccines and the different vaccines and there's an entire group of holy rollers that will not get the mRNA vaccines because fetal stem cells were used in the development of the vaccine. So they refuse to take the Pfizer or the Moderna vaccine because those are mRNA based, and they were, babies died to create those vaccines. And it's like, hello, those stem cells could have been harvested from the umbilical cord at birth. So it's like they're just.
My understanding is those were old. They're actually cloned.
Yeah.
From decades ago.
Well, I'm just saying though, but there are ways to.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't killing babies to get these stem cells.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just that. Oh, god damn.
That's like Kasumi used to collect cord blood at the hospitals in Thailand, and they would save it to keep the stem cells for if the child needed medical care later on.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's just saying it's not. They just. There's been this hysteria amongst the religious right that this is something that they don't want to have happen. It's like no stem cell research at all. Period.
I remember the movie. What was it? Fight Club. In the beginning of the Fight Club, he's in their aeroplane. He's talking about the fact that the way he gets the fat that makes his soap is he jumps the fence and all the fat that's in the garbage things from the clinic, so from the liposuction. I was expecting a big hoo-ha about that, and Americans no longer wanting to wash because the fat comes from human cells as well. So that never happened, thankfully. But
oh yeah, I thought that was funny. It's like getting the fat that's sucked out of the rich people and then turning it into a soap and selling it back to them as high-end soap was the most poignant thing in that movie as far as I was concerned. It's like, yes, letting them clean themselves with their own fat that's been sucked out of their
first rule of Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club. There you go. I must get that movie out. I got that movie somewhere here on my archives. I'll have to pull it out of my archives. That's another good Sunday night movie, I think. Yeah, so we're trying to do this thing here on our Discord. If you're around on a Sunday night, our time, sort of 7 or 8 o'clock at night, Thailand time. That's probably 9, 10, 11 o'clock in Australia time. What you work it out? I haven't got a. I do have a little chart thing that help you. Or is it?
Well, I think there's these things called time zone maps.
No, I've got this one here. This one's free, World Time Buddy. Yeah, so would be about 8 o'clock at night, Bangkok time. So Sydney 23, 11 o'clock, San Francisco 6 a.m.
But isn't it your morning there now? Isn't it like almost noon?
Well, there is 20. So I'm say 20 o'clock is 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So that's UTC would be 1300. So that's 1 p.m. So that's on a Sunday. We're going to try to do this Sunday night movie night, and we've got a movie already picked up.
You're talking about the movie night, okay?
Movie night, yeah. So we're going to try to do this movie night sort of thing. See how this thing can fly. Just got to drop in to the channel, and we'll be doing movies, right? So that's for our Sunday night. So you're all welcome. That's if you can make it, of course. But we actually watch it on the Discord. So I stream it, and you guys, you're in the audience, so we all watch it together. It works quite well. I know my mate in the Chaos Network Discord channel, they do it quite regularly, but they're all in the same time zone. Unfortunately here we're all in different time zones, so it doesn't work as well. We're all time buddy for dummies. Getting back to the article, that's what we're talking about. This article, the dual pricing system.
Yeah.
I felt much better when I learnt the vaccine is made in China. Yeah. It's becoming a very
from the source.
It's becoming a very political issue because I think Thailand university, medical university here, has done a recent test on the effectiveness of the Sinovac Sinovac vaccine, and their results are showing 97% success at combating the virus in all the current strains that are here in Thailand. Which is contrary to what you're seeing in Europe, which is Europe is sort of seeing numbers as low as 57%. Yeah, who do you believe?
Well, I mean, just variants could. I mean,
yeah.
Who they tested, who they used in the study could skew the results.
Well, that's it. It's all to do with it. And of course, now this is seeing what they call the double-edged sword. If you get two different versions of the virus in the same incubation period, the virus mutates into what they call a double virus, a double. I don't know there's a special name for it. So it actually has both spike proteins, which this is what happens. It's been so slow the world has been so slow to move, right, and too much bullshit. What you need to do is just get a grip, guys. Get everybody vaccinated so we can stop, at least it in its tracks in its current versions. Because the longer you let it fester, places like South Africa, right, the different variations that are coming out now because of lack of medical care and everything else, it's just like a breeding ground. As I said right at the beginning, the human genome is a petri dish. It's just like creating viruses in the lab. We are a petri dish. If you don't stop it in its tracks, right? If a person that's got Ebola, right, and has rabies, gets this particular virus, the whole thing can fucking mutate into something of World War Z. You never know. Then it's all over, boys. All over.
I don't know. I think we take somebody, we infect them with one, then we take them up. Then we just need to purposefully infect them with everything.
Yeah, I know.
Get a super vaccine out of his blood. Kill him. We don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
And then administer that all over the world.
Big screen VR app is cool for watching movies with friends around the world. Need VR headsets. Well, I got the VR headset, but I haven't tried doing the VR. That's one of those things. When I get this thing, I'll be able to set up more stuff for the VR. Because unfortunately, it's just too hard to do it all that when you've got all this sort of real estate that I got to work with. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some more in that sort of area.
Speaking of VR, have you watched Ready Player One?
I haven't. I've watched the movie. Yeah, I haven't watched it in 3D though. But
Okay. No, I just meant the movie itself. I thought that was. I watched it finally this week.
Did you? Okay, so it's a good movie. Yeah, Thomas. Soylent Green is. There is a product called Soylent.
Yes, I know. That caught you off guard, did it, Mr. Mitch?
There is a product called and it's green. Yes.
Complete nutrition in different formats. Soylent.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, yes. I mean, who?
It tastes
Which
different
marketing
from person to
genius
person.
Came up with this?
Well, it is. It's actually, this was a crowdfunded thing about 5 or 6 years ago.
I know. It's just like, oh my god. It's like
it tastes different from person to person. Is that right?
depends on which person they use to make it.
Southern Nutrition say shake sampler pack. You can try all different. So this is from the South Africans. These are from Anglo-Saxons. These ones here are from North American Indians. This one here, I think, is from the Asian countries. This one here is from from Iceland people, and this one here, I've got no idea where that comes from.
Green be Irish?
What? Green could be
Wouldn't
Irish.
the green be Irish?
Could be, yeah. Tastes different from person to person. Anyway, enough of the fun. But yeah, there is a product called Soylent out there, and they're actually doing quite well. It's a totally chemically produced food supplement, and supposedly people are raving about it. But it's a little bit overpriced compared to what it is,
Yeah, I would think so. $5 a shake.
He says Soylent tastes pretty damn bland. I've tried it. That's a nice feedback. There's a lot of positive feedback on their website, but of course I'm sure that the website will only ever post the good comments. Never tried it myself, so I don't know where it goes. Eddie Stubbs, Robert Mack. G'day, how you doing? Good for you to join us. Sorry it's a bit late for you in the evening.
Yeah, Mr. Mitch, I actually went and watched Soylent Green here a couple months ago because it's like I think we'd stumbled across that Soylent ad that you were showing.
Yeah.
And it made me go back and watch the movie because I knew that there was, it was just interesting.
You came out about the same time as what was that re-release? Was it?
I think
the Hugh Hefner movie,
the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, around about those times. What was that movie? The robot one, the robot movie. The
robot movie.
Like the
Westworld.
Westworld, that's it. Yeah, the original Westworld. They'd all came out about the same time. Yeah.
Those 70 movies with the cheesy soundtracks.
Oh yeah, cheesy soundtracks. Yeah. Not as cheesy as the porn movies from the 70s. God, that music.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Bomb chicka wow wow.
I remember my old man used to get that shit out on 8mm film, and had movie nights out in the back. I wasn't allowed in the garage, I was too young, but he'd get his mates over there and watch that shit. Oh God!
Back when there was actually plots, they weren't just all
plots.
Action.
Oh, Debbie Does Dallas. I remember that one.
A lot of pizza delivery.
Yes, yeah, and plumbing fixing.
Fixing the plumbing. No,
I'm here to fix your pipes.
Debbie Does Dallas, I think, is the all-time classic, isn't it?
Well, it's one of those, yeah. Debbie Does Dallas. Debbie Does San Francisco. Debbie Does. Debbie did a lot.
Debbie did a lot.
My God.
Oh my God!
Debbie did a lot of cities.
I never remember seeing Debbie Does Dallas. I never saw the others.
The one I think was one I think is funniest was the actress. I might drawing a blank on her.
Black Emmanuel, White Emmanuel. I remember those ones.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's politically incorrect now in today's world. 70s sci-fi was pretty good. Weird. They did swing for the fences. Yeah. I know Battlestar Galactica came out in the 70s, didn't it? Was Battlestar Galactica? That was 76, 77.
Yeah.
That was a pretty decent sort of series. Planet of the Apes. That was early 70s, wasn't it?
What I think is funny is Tracy Lords, who did so many movies. And then when she turned 18, she went to the industry and said, "Oh, all those films that I did for you guys, I was underage." so they had to pull every single movie with her in it off, and she did her own.
Oh, okay.
She's done one porn since she turned 18.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But she ruined I mean, all that stuff had to come off the market. Everybody had to do. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Yes, Craig. Yeah, HBO Westworld series was absolutely brilliant. I think there's another season still to come out yet.
Yeah, that is an awesome series.
The first season was a bit weird with the multi-timeline, which confused the shit out of everybody. How that all sort of went together, but it all started to make sense after that. Deep Throat, Robin Crow's Deep Throat was better. I do remember the name. I don't remember actually seeing it. God, those are the days, weren't they? Ralph Lewis, Behind the Green Door, worked with the guy.
Was Neighbors with Marilyn Chambers.
Okay,
Awesome.
fair enough. Yeah, love the Battlestar Galactica theme song. Yes. Yeah, so of course, Star Wars, Episode 4, movie number 4, Episode 4 was released in '76. It was pretty much the thing that launched the sci-fi. But I remember watching sci-fi. I was watching Doctor Who back in the early '70s, and they had that series called UFO. I was quite taken by UFO. And what was the other series? Space 1999.
I love Space 1999.
That was good.
Also, UFO.
Yeah. UFO and Space 1999, they came out of England, America wasn't really doing much in the way of sci-fi back in those days, were they?
The reason we got those shows in America is because another strike. There was a writer's strike in Hollywood. So they weren't producing anything from America for months. Right. And we ended up pulling our seasons. So we ended up with Space 1999, UFO, I want to say The Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of British TV migrated over to the U.S. during that period.
Yeah,
so it's really cool.
The point I made is the fact that you had the Avengers and all those other and the space theme things, but America wasn't. America was wound up in the space race and the '69 Apollo launching and all that sort of stuff going on around that era. There was a few sci-fi movies, but there was really no sci-fi TV series apart from Star Trek, wasn't it? That was about the only one.
Yeah, Star Trek. I don't think there was really anything else.
Yeah, so Star Trek was it.
With them.
And it's almost
it got cancelled.
Yeah, that's right. It got cancelled too.
Because they just felt that science fiction was not worth pursuing.
Yeah, because it was an affrontment to the Christian society, expecting the fact that there's life outside planet Earth.
Yes, Lost in Space, Mr.
Lost in Space. I forgot about that. Yes, danger, Will Robinson, danger.
But it was all crap, campy stuff. It was, I don't know.
Thunderbirds.
The nerds hadn't taken over yet.
But Thunderbirds was a British series. It was made by a British studio, sold to America. Wizard of Oz doesn't count. Sorry, Wizard of Oz doesn't count. That's not sci-fi.
That's fantasy.
That's fantasy, yes. Go to the big screen now. Yeah, this was what we miss. The Songkran crowds, the street water fights. God, let's hope we get them back next year. Yeah,
it sucks when Songkran is. I'd love to come over for it, but our season for my industry doesn't get over till the 1st of May. So.
We have to wait for your 5 years.
But Jetson was a cartoon. Well, of course, so was Thunderbirds, but wasn't Thunderbirds marionettes?
Marionettes, yeah. They're actually talking about redoing the marionette sort of genre. I've been hearing some weird stuff in that sort of genre too.
Well, nowadays they would just do it stop motion. They wouldn't do,
No, I think they was talking about doing the marionette stuff just simply because it's a unique film format. Jetsons is better than the Thunderbirds.
The Lego movie?
The what?
Wouldn't they just fake the marionettes with computer?
Oh,
like
I'm pretty.
Movies?
I probably could. Yes, I probably could. Yeah.
But you've got Leica Studios in Portland, Oregon, does the stop motion stuff. They're the ones that did Trolls in the Box and Coraline and a couple others that that stuff is just freaking awesome, and that is not computer generated.
Been watching
That is
Serpent?
actually-
Okay. Make Soccer great again. Wet T-shirt Ladyboy contest. Yes. Can't wait. Next year we can just keep our fingers crossed for next year. We should have 60 to 70% of the population vaccinated by April next year. We hope. It's
I would hope so.
unfortunate the rollout is still so damn slow. But I heard that they've actually found sourcing. They've just signed a deal with Russia to bring the Russian one in, the Sputnik 5 or whatever it is they call it. They've bought 10 to 20 million doses of that. So the rollout's been extremely slow now, but Astro Boy.
Definitely Dowlow. Astro Boy, good one.
Yeah. God, it's all it's all coming back to us now. But yeah.
Of course, see, I like the some of the original animation coming out of Japan. Bubblegum Crash and Crisis. With the
I read that series. I think it was late '70s. Was V?
Oh, V was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon the original V was
That was
better. Than,
US.
they did a re-release of V about
remake,
6 or 7 years ago, which only did one season. And really didn't take off because they went so far off canon from the original. But yeah, the original, with Michael Ironside was in the original, wasn't he?
I don't remember exactly what was in it, but I thought that was cool.
He
That was that 80s or 70s?
V. You'd have to go back and you'd have to bring up my thing, IMDb. V.
V was 1984.
84 to 90.
was an 80.
That's two seasons.
84 to 85.
And there was a movie.
When did
that
they do
brought out.
Akira?
Akira?
Akira. That's
Akira
the
Battle.
classic of Akira and Ghost in the Shell. Those two movies are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Akira is only really cool
I was
in
riding
read
the-
Japanese because they have all these graffitis on the walls, which you cannot read, and they're not subtitled or something.
Of course, all those things now pale to an insignificance, when you look at quality of movie. But as I said, I think last Sunday we watched that movie Nobody. What was your
awesome.
impression of that movie Nobody? What did you think about that?
I thought it was cool. It totally took the actor out of what I'm used to seeing him. It was the actor from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, the
Breaking
lawyer.
Bad, the lawyer.
Yeah.
He was a completely different character in this, and it was if there's ever any one movie you got to see, it's called Nobody. That's my movie recommendation for the crowd here this week, with 3 minutes to go before we shut down. So where are we? Closing screen ready to go. We need to get out of here, and we need to get some gaming done. Clear out the cobwebs, reminiscing the old one. Yeah, okay. Humphrey B. Of course, Stephen Monash would have to bring up Humphrey B. Bear. Okay. My parts.
All right, guys. You guys have a good weekend. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
You too,
I've
okay.
seen Alita Battle Warrior. It's a cool movie.
We'll catch up with you, Sean. We'll catch you next week. Trust you,
All right.
sickos. To notice, yes. Have you seen Attila Battle? Yes, I've seen the movie. That was a good movie. I hope they bring out a sequel to that because it was really prime for a sequel movie.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Cue the song and get off, he says. Stephen wants me out of here. How many likes did we get this time? We haven't been doing the like ratio thing, have we? Somehow
Here's another one.
Yeah, we got 25 likes from 45. Likes did we get this time? We haven't been doing the like. Shut up! Oh, pause that. Yeah, so it's 26 likes. Yeah, okay.
29 now.
29, yeah.
29, yeah.
Have a great weekend. Bye all. Have a great weekend. Yes. If I missed you, sorry for missing your name. If you came in and I didn't say hello, I don't mean to. I think Richard Kingstar there. I think I missed him, and it's quickly scrolling back. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back here same bat time, same bat place, same bat channel.
Bat channel.
That's it. Cue the song. And get out of here. Same.
Keep your penguins in a row.
Keep your penguins in a row. Peace out, guys, and we'll see you next time.
I want you to